Hello and welcome to week 3. Today I'm going to show you how to take out that waste yarn and start your afterthought heel. Here we go. As you can see, my sample doesn't have the entire leg finished yet, but as long as you're at least about an inch or so through the leg, you can do the afterthought heel at any time. So at this point, we're going to be removing the gold waste yarn that I have here and placing both set of stitches from the leg side and the foot side back onto the needle. I actually like to pick up the stitches using my needle before I take out the waste yarn. So as you can see here, I have my gold line, and that is where I knit in my waste yarn. And then I've picked up the stitches just below that on my needle again, so that when I take out the waste yarn, the stitches will be live, but will have no chance of going anywhere. What you're gonna wanna do is put your needle inside one leg of each stitch. So essentially you're going to go into this leg, you'll skip the next one, and then you'll go and scoop the next one. So you're skipping every other leg, ensuring that you get every stitch. So again, I'm just following right above my waste yarn stitch, and I'm picking up every other leg until I have 30 stitches back on my needle. And then take care with the last stitch here. If you see it's loose and it's kind of hard to see where that last stitch is, just go ahead and snug up the waste yarn and the stitch will come right out of it. That's the one. If you knit your socks 2 at a time up until this point, I would suggest probably doing the heel 1 at a time. I find that it's easier, especially with this little fiddly point where you have to pick up the stitches again. So if you'd like to do them 2 at a time, you can just slide this over and then rework the last step with your other sock, or you can go ahead and just do them 1 at a time. The heels don't really take that long to knit. So to remove the waste yarn, I'm just going to use my little snips here. They're really sharp and pointy, and they can get right into these stitches here. I'm just going to cut them out. Once you've given them a little snip, you can flip it to the inside, and then just go ahead and begin pulling out the little ends of your waste yarn. So here I've snipped out all the waste yarn and I've removed all the little bits, and now the stitches are back live and ready to work once again. You'll have 30 stitches down by your foot and then 30 stitches down by your leg for a total of 60 stitches. From here, it's pretty smooth sailing. You're going to rejoin your contrasting color yarn that you used in your ribbing, and that's what you're going to use for your heel. So since I'm doing this magic loop, I'm going to turn this around, and my first round is actually going to be with the leg side facing me. Now, it doesn't really matter if the leg side or the foot side is facing you at this point, had you chosen to pick up the stitches in the opposite direction. It won't change the shape of the heel at all. From here, you're going to rejoin your yarn and work in stockinette stitch, with every other round being a decrease round, decreasing 4 total stitches, and then the every other round just being a plain knit round until you have 24 total stitches, 12 stitches on each side, and then from there you will Kitchener stitch them closed. And there you have it. With that step, that will get you finished with your afterthought heel. Thank you so much to everyone who joined my knit along, and for any of you who are a little bit behind, not to worry. Week 4 and the next 2 weeks following are all weeks you can use to catch up and make sure you have a fully finished pair of summertime flip-floppers and still have time to enter the KAL drawing. So, for any more additional information, you can visit the links below in the description or visit me on Ravelry in the KAL group. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.